Hi everybody, this is Rue with Rue's How To, and I'm very excited because today we're going to be making the iron scone. That's what it looks like. And this is from a cookbook that I found that's really cool. It's called Game of Scones, and it has all kinds of like really cool stuff that have to do with the the book series as well as the TV show. But I'll be honest, like, I don't really know much about Game of Thrones. It's definitely something I would like to get into, but I've just been so busy I haven't, because I mean, look at what I'm wearing right now. I definitely would like Game of Thrones. I was about to say Game of Scones. I only know a little bit about Game of Thrones, like, winter is coming, King of the North, King of the North. I saw a white raven, winter is here. Now, I don't know what any of that means. I just overheard it because my husband was watching it, so those are the little pieces that I do know. But it's definitely something that I would like to look into. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about it, but the Dragon Queen looked really awesome. Like, anyways, so we're gonna be making this today, and these are the items that you're gonna need. You need about 225 grams, or about 7.9 ounces. I just rounded up to 1 cup of self-rising flour. I also want to note that all of the ingredients listed here, the amounts were done in grams, and in the US we don't really deal with that type of system, so I'm going to be rounding up the best I can, and I'll give you both measurements. A pinch of salt, 50 grams or about 3.5 tablespoons of butter or margarine, 25 grams or about 1.8, I'm going to round up to 2 tablespoons of sugar. You will need 50 milliliters of milk. In my case, I'm using almond milk. The last thing you will need for the dough is 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. One thing also to note is that you can also add, if you so desire, raisins or any type of fruit to it, and that's also about like 3.5 tablespoons. I'm going to be adding raisins. Another optional item that you may want to use is some type of spread to put on your scone, and in my case I'm going to be using some strawberry preserves. Lastly, you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It says also 200 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Celsius fan assisted, and it says for spectacular results, use the breath of the greatest dragon. We don't have any dragons here, so this oven is just gonna have to do. I have added the flour, the baking soda, as well as the margarine or butter cut into cubes, and it's important that it is cold. I know this doesn't seem like a lot of ingredients. It says that it makes only 3 scones, and talking about dragons, I was thinking maybe it's because there's only 3 dragon talking people at one time. Maybe these scones are for those dragon talking people. See, I know a little bit about Game of Thrones. But anyways, so you're supposed to just squish it and squash until you have kind of like, this is all incorporated and it feels kind of like, and looks like breadcrumbs. So you just kind of squish it all together, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so I added the raisins, and this is how the dough is looking right now. And then next I'm going to add the sugar, and then I'm going to continue to mix it all together. Okay, so I mixed all of that really well together. And the next thing you got to do is make a little well in the center, and then you're gonna pour your milk, or in my case almond milk, into the center there. There we go. And then you're gonna slowly incorporate it in until it has like a mushy, more of a mushy kind of texture. All right, so on a lightly floured surface, you wanna get your dough. And you knead it in case there's any cracks, like there's one here. So they want you to knead it. I'm gonna knead it in just a moment. And you wanna, it says you could roll it out or just pat it with your hand to about 2.5 centimeters thick. So that's what I'm gonna just do in this moment. So I'm gonna knead it. And then I'm gonna just pat it out. Until I'm gonna get my ruler out in just a moment to see if it is 2.5 centimeters in thickness. I'm just patting it and checking to make sure that the consistency, what I meant was it's consistently even on all edges, because you know how sometimes you pat stuff out and then it's like thinner here than it is here. So I'm just double checking to make sure that I'm not doing that. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a cutter, like a cookie cutter. I'm just using the glass, and then you just cut 3 out. Now they gave a very specific diameter. They said 7 centimeters, but I'm just gonna use this. All right, now I forgot to mention this earlier, they said to leave the pan that you're gonna be cooking with into the oven, that way it's nice and hot. I had this in the, I think it's called the broiler, the compartment that's underneath the oven, and it is warm, it's not piping hot, but I'm just going to use it anyways. It also said to dust a little bit of flour on top, and then we're going to put it in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I baked it for about, I would say 12-ish minutes. It also said wait until the top is lightly browned. So I went ahead and I put some margarine and some of the strawberry preserves in it, and I'm very excited to give it a taste. One thing that it said at the very last thing on there was, stand back and admire in the light of the 7. Keep away from others. The iron scone can never be shared. But I would share it with you if you were here. I have plenty of scones. All right, so here we go. That rhymed. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, it's really good! I love it when recipes turn out really good. Like sometimes you see it in the books and you try it and it's not good, but this was really tasty. They do have more difficult ones. I'm just a regular baker person. No, I'm not even a baker, I'm a regular person. I don't really like bake professionally or nothing. But this was actually really easy to make. It was really fast, and even though it said that it's supposed to make only 3 scones, with the cup that I used, I was able to make actually like 5 of them, and they're really tasty. They're very light. The strawberry preserves or any type of topping definitely adds a nice sweetness. They aren't too sweet, they're very nice. Oh, I'm so excited! Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you have a really awesome day.